So, John, we're at the Nationwide Fancy Football Prize Giving Awards. Just tell us about your involvement in that.
Well, I got approached by Nationwide to come and hand out the awards and to spend some time and answer some questions. And of course, if you get an opportunity to come to Guagliano's, you don't turn it down.
Who would be in your fancy football team if you were Fabio Capello at the moment?
Diego Maradona would be one. Pele, Johan Cruyff, Franz Beckenbauer. Of course, they're world stars of the past. But I think that Fabio Capello's got it right in terms of his fantasy football squad, and the 30 he's named, obviously whittling down to 23. There's no one, I believe, who could have been included who wasn't.
Apart from obviously David Beckham, who's injured, is that a good sense that he's going there as to help out on the backroom staff?
Yes, I mean the most important thing is Fabio knowing the effect that David can have on the squad. So regardless of whether people may be divided and say why is he going, he shouldn't be going. The only person who knows whether he should be going or not is Fabio, because he knows the effect that David may have, and if he feels it's right, then it's right, regardless of what anyone else thinks. I think that David not being there as a player, I don't think that would necessarily impact on the team, because he hasn't really played that much over the last 2 years. He's been there in the squad, and if he's still going to be there in the squad because Fabio believes his influence off the field is good, then also be it. Over the years, we've had this I think misconception that we are struggling for players down the left. When you have 11 players, a player's going to play down the left. He may not be an out-and-out winger, and if you look at what Joe Cole has done in the last World Cup and European Championship over the years, playing on the left, it's been a success. And I think why it has been a success is because Ashley Cole is a fantastic, probably the best attacking left back in the world. So I don't believe you necessarily need an out-and-out left winger to play out there. Joe Cole has played out there, he's come in field, and Ashley Cole's gone outside him, and that has worked quite well. So while there aren't, on the face of it, any, apart from Adam Johnson, any out-and-out left wingers, if you like, I don't think it's going to be a problem at all, because as we saw in one of the last games, Sean Wright Phillips played out on the left and was man of the match. So I don't think that's much of a problem, as long as we have Ashley Cole, who's going to be like a left winger for us, if you like.
And you talk about Joe Cole. I mean, he was one of the great success stories in Germany 4 years ago, but he's struggled this season, hasn't he? He's been injured and then rediscovering that form. Do you think he can make it through and still play a big part for England?
Well, I think he would be in the 23. As you say, Joe has struggled with injury more than anything else, because he's a fantastic player, so therefore he hasn't had the impact this season as he has in previous seasons, but he's going to be there. As to whether he'll start in the 11, possibly not, but I mean, to have a player of Joe's quality and Joe's experience there, because he's an experienced player, that's the thing. I mean, regardless of the 11, I think that they've got a lot of experience and quality throughout the squad, whoever the final 23 may be. So I think in the past England have really relied on their 11, and their best 11, or 12, or even 13, whereas now, they really have an 18, 19-man squad who, regardless of who plays or who comes on, they can still bring the same quality.
And of course, there's 2 games to go before the real thing starts. Mexico this Monday at Wembley. How important is it that Fabio strikes a balance between playing his best side and seeing what 1 or 2 players can do?
Well, first of all, you also have to understand that with some people carrying knocks and carrying injuries, is he going to play his best side? It's not necessarily the time to experiment, and of course, making it into the final 30, there's no experimentation to be done, because whoever plays against Mexico is not an experiment. They're proven internationals who could possibly be going into 23. But I think he would like to get as close to his best 11, knowing that there's still players. Rio Ferdinand hasn't been 100% fit all the time with his back injury, so he'll have to nurse a few. Ledley King. So I don't think we'll necessarily see the best 11 for England until we actually get to the World Cup.
And how important will it be to get the result that Fabio wants on the night?
It's always important to get results, because it breeds confidence, not just in the players, but in the press and in the nation. And unfortunately, that's what England needs. I think there are other teams who have played matches and not won. If you look at Portugal and Spain, and not so much Spain, but other top teams play friendly matches and they don't play particularly well and win, and it isn't all doom and gloom. But of course, we know the nature of the beast in England, and if they lose, they're the worst team in the world. If we win, we're the best team in the world. So I think it's important from a confidence point of view for us to get a good result in the 2 matches leading up to the World Cup.
And in terms of the forward line, I mean, we're all thinking Wayne Rooney's the shoo-in, but beyond that, it could be anyone, really, couldn't it?
It could be, and the strikers in form. Peter Crouch has done really well. It really depends on how he wants to play. I love Jermaine Defoe. I think he's the most natural finisher that we have, even more than Wayne Rooney, because Wayne Rooney is an all-round player. He can play wide, he drops short, whereas as a number 9, if you like, Jermaine Defoe is the one who will put the ball in the back of the net. But depending on how he wants to play, maybe he will want to play Crouch and Rooney, Defoe and Rooney, maybe Rooney up front by himself and Gerrard behind him. So there are lots of different permutations that he can actually do. So as far as the strikers go, I think apart from Rooney, I think that Emile, will be there, and Emile's there now, really, not necessarily to start, but he knows what he can do. But as far as the starting front two goes, I think that he's got an embarrassment of riches, and I don't think it's a decision he could get wrong.
And in goal, I mean, do you go for the experience of David James or possibly Robert Green, or the chance for Joe Hart to show what he could
Once
do?
again, it's completely up to the manager, and he will be working with the players and know exactly what's required. I would always go with the experience in a World Cup, regardless of how well, particularly in a position like that. You can have a Theo Walcott in the last World Cup as a young boy playing on the wing, if you want to start him even, or playing in a. But I think a goalkeeper is such a crucial position that you really do need a cool head, and you need someone who's played a few games and need experience. So I would be very surprised, but Fabio is the one who has to make that decision. And if he goes for Joe Hart, who's probably the most consistent goalkeeper in the Premier League last year, going into a World Cup having not played before, that would be a big test for him. But I'm sure he could cope with it. But I would go with experience.